And good morning, true believers. It's another Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm Ranger J 1999 from Team Instinct, and you are on RSG's channel, which means you're like the rest of us, drinking large amounts of copious coffee as we begin our journey through the Jedi Academy. And what's the Jedi Academy? That's where we take all the top players and YouTubers and we bring them on here into one big mishmash of knowledge, and we answer all of your questions about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So let's introduce everybody, and if you would like to have your question get your question in, just get in chat, put your question down. Finity, the troll extraordinaire, Dr. Finn Medicine Woman himself is here, and he will be scooping up your questions, and we will get to them as soon as possible. So let's introduce the panel. Let's get this going, because we're all drinking large amounts of caffeine, trying to get our blood going so we can do this properly. Let's start off. We'll start with Warrior, my brother from Team Instinct, who is here. What's going on, Warrior?
Not much, man. How you doing?
I'm still recovering from TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy
I hear
moly.
that.
Oh, my God. We'll talk about it here in a second, but oh, my God. And then
And you said you sweep up and pick up the questions, that he's going to scoop them up and pick them up or whatever. All I could think of was he's going to scoop them up and bop them on the head.
That's right. That's the
little mice.
Little bunny finity
Yeah.
running through the floor.
Little bunny foo-foo.
I know, I was making a different name, Finn. You know, I was playing around with words.
Don't be messing with plastic.
You shut your pie hole. Why don't you do your work? Why don't you...
I am.
Oh, okay. Good job. You're trolling me. I ought to punch you in the face. I'm going to let that slide because you got a giant hurricane coming at you. So I'll let that slide, Finn. He's like family, you know? I mean, he does this to me all the time. He's like my brother I don't want to recognize, but I have to. I mean, I have to sort of love him, but I don't want to. It's weird. Let's see. We've also got, from across the pond, Mr. Mike Hunt.
Hello.
Hello, Mike. What's going on?
I'm recovering from birthday celebrations and
celebration.
Celebrate. Oh, and Gear 12 and yes, lots to chat about today.
No, we'll get into all that. Also joining us, I don't know if he's there. Sir Loki, are you there, my friend? I thought he popped in. And I think Sir Loki's still trying to get breakfast in him. So I know he's there, but he hasn't spoken yet. And then also we have the Dark Lady of the Sith, my young apprentice, Darth Bella. Darth Bella, are you there?
She's working on audio issues. She was trying to talk, but no one was able to hear her.
All right, well, she'll be there. So Bella, if you hear us, just say Guten Tag when you're ready to go, and we'll get you going. I think King Felix is driving, and he will be on his way here. And I'm not sure about your partner in crime, Mr. Turbo. He said he's sorry he's driving at the moment too. So everybody's busy. So we got enough people here to get going. Welcome everybody in the chat. So we're starting to get the questions in. Finn's getting them picked up and everything, and like little bunny foo-foo running through the forest. Except it's Dr. Finn Medicine Woman with his little medicine bag running from the hurricane. So how's everybody doing after TB? We talked about it a lot on the Wednesday stream, along with the new characters that they introduced. Man, they're just throwing stuff at us all over the place there, Mr. Warrior.
Yep, they've got a crazy amount of new content coming in, and when I say content, I mean characters.
Yeah, good lord.
Territory battles was their like major overhaul to a new dimension of the game, kind of like ships were. They're trying to create these new areas of the game, but instead of them just being superficial, like, oh, we added an extra level on light side, now there's level 10 light side or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to create something that's uniquely different, and they've done that. So they have successfully completed what it is they're looking to do, and it does provide a new thing to do, and it's fun. And once we get a process and we're in it a few months, it won't be that much additional game time. It was a lot this first round just because there was so much coordination to really maximize those stars this first time around. But as people get to know it, it will be better. But yeah, the characters, everybody keeps complaining that they bring in too many characters in the game, and two things on that. One, it's not going to stop.
Yep.
Because every game that's like this game, such as Marvel Contest of Champions and those types of games that have characters that you bring in, and they're always introducing 3 to 5 new characters every month. That's what they do. So it's going to happen. So you got to kind of just learn to accept that you'll never be caught up. The few people who have, that spend $2,000 when a new group of characters comes in every month, that's just not most people. So you just have to accept the fact that you're not one of those whales, and there's going to be new content. The second is it's good, and this is why as they develop these new characters, bring them in, it really creates this huge wide spectrum of opportunities. And think about a person who wants to play this game who comes in today. They have the opportunity to farm bays and churret. Like, that's just a thing. They can go. They can't do their nodes yet, the node yet for bays, probably because they're a new player, right? But they can buy out of territory battles if they start territory battles at level 56, which takes them like 3 weeks or 4 weeks to get to level 56. So they could be playing territory battles and buying bays out of there, buying churret out of shipments once they get over level 50 or whatever. So there are characters they can develop that when I started, I couldn't develop.
Oh,
and
hell
so
no.
I tell people looking back, like, churret and bays are great. And a new character, they could have that as their focus right now on day one, even if they don't develop them yet, because they know it, so they can minimize the investment on other crap characters. Whereas I went all in on Mob Enforcer because there wasn't a whole lot of characters in the game, and nobody was around telling me that Mob Enforcer was trash. So I went ahead and developed it, and I've wasted so much time in there. Now, if I was completely free to play, I would have crocodile tears, man, for sure, especially on Mob Enforcer.
Oh boy, good. So, Mike, how did your guild do with the territory battles, and what were your thoughts on it?
We did okay. I think we were second overall. We got 42 stars. Like Warrior said, yeah, a lot of learning, a lot of planning, a lot of coordination. Cannot overemphasize how much coordination the first one took. Looking forward to the second one now that we've got a bit of an idea. It's providing a great challenge. It's making things interesting. I enjoyed it. I was a bit kind of more than a bit self-conscious about every battle that I recorded, of kind of maximizing everything. That I think the difference with this over the rank or even the tank is that you can have other people kind of carry you if you don't have a great roster, or you can't use a certain faction very well. Other players would kind of cover you and put the points on the board. But with TB, it's not the same case. Everyone's score counts, and yes, Mike thought it was good.
Okay,
interesting.
I don't know what that was. That was really weird. I don't know what happened. I was like, what is going on? Okay. Another question I've been getting from Warrior is, how come Team Instinct didn't get 45 stars? And
it's a physical impossibility. No team in the world can get 45 stars. We did the math and broke it down, and we knew going in, even if we shuffled a couple of people from the two other ones to the one main Team Instinct and built this 50 that had the highest GP, we knew we'd still fall short by like 20 to 30 million GP. You've got to have 170 million GP as a team to do 45 stars. That's the statistical requirement, and that's if you run it perfectly. So if you don't run perfectly, you really need to have more like 180 million GP.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we ran it nearly perfect, and we were like 17 million GP shy, and that's with 146 million GP. So really, it's a statistical impossibility to get 45 stars, and we know that nobody is going to be getting 45 stars anytime in the next month or two. We've got to wait for the teams to develop more Gear 12 characters, which will pop our GP up higher, which will then give us that ability. Because really, it's not running through the battles. And for us, we did all the platoons. We had enough whales that we were able to complete every platoon. We were able to complete every single mission. Pretty much almost everybody, 6 out of 6, most of the battles. Like, we had nearly a perfect run. But then at the end, you have to dump your roster. And there just wasn't enough roster to be dumped to earn that last star in that last middle section. We were 17 million shy. We would need everybody to have another 500,000 in their roster. And for a lot of us, we're at 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. There isn't 500,000 GP left in the game for us to even bring it up that way. So it literally means that basically all of our rosters have to be basically solid Gear 12.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
So it is crazy. It's mathematically impossible. And the reason why they did that was they wanted us to have something to shoot for. If the number one team ran through it and got everything, it would be like, okay, done, next. You know what I mean? And they want us to have something to shoot for.
Absolutely. So we're still working on Bella Finn. She's still having audio issues?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I'm working with it.
Loki, did you pop in yet? Well, Proyd was right. Goodness gracious. Felix, did you make it in?
Well, hello.
Well, hello there. Welcome to the stream,
Hi.
my friend. Oh, wait, I hear. So we've got King Felix, and I think I just heard Bella. Bella.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
My Skype on my mobile is not working.
Felix, did you make it in? Someone's echoing. Check your headset. Hello there. Who's got the stream in the background? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Oh, wait, I hear. So we've got King Felix. Someone's got their stream rolling at the same time. Oh my God.
My Skype on my mobile is not
Is
working.
it Bella?
I don't know who it
Yeah, I
is,
think
but
it's
I'm here
Bella.
myself.
Bella got her voice back, so now she wants to make sure everyone hears it over and over again.
All right, Miss Bella, say something so we can see if you're still echoing.
Yeah, I don't dare to say anything anymore now.
There you go. Now we're not hearing it, so that's good.
I had the YouTube open. I had to change to the computer where I usually have my YouTube open.
Yeah.
And now I need to open. Yeah, well, I can hear you. That's the main thing, and you can hear me.
Yes, that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got King Felix. You still there, bud?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Just
good.
finished doing the Memorial 9/11 Ruck March here at Camp Humphreys.
Oh God, yeah, 9/11's coming up. Oh, it's just such a depressing day. I hate remembering 9/11. I really do. God. Oh.
Strange day to start the next TB.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It really is. I totally agree with that.
I looked at that and I thought, ooh. Literally.
I was slightly confused.
I think they just, I don't know if they thought about it, but, you know.
They're from San Francisco. They don't think about these things.
I don't know. I think they do, but I think they just didn't register. It's like, well, it's 9/11, but the game's got to go on and blah, blah, blah. So,
Unless it was an Englishman or a European that said the date.
that could be.
Because we'd have said the 11th of September.
Remember the 11th of September. Ugh. All right, so let's get into the questions. They are now starting to come in hot and heavy. We'll start with Warrior and just work our way down. Wait, I think this is for Mike, though. This is the first question. Hold on. So this is from Frederick Nielsen. He says, question, has Mike had time to learn how to play Resistance? Have you, Mike? Have you learned how to play Resistance? What's going on with that?
The answer is no.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm going to go knocking on Broder's door, I think. I'm going to go hammering onto their excellent Discord server and ask for some tutoring, because I love watching people play Resistance. I just have a mental block on them at the moment, and just go gung ho and yeah, 3 of 6, crash, bang, wallop, out.
No, you don't have a Zeta Fin.
It was.
Do you?
I do. Yes. The only what I'm
knucklehead.
what I'm lacking is an Omega. Well, what I have is an Omega 3 Ray.
Oh no.
She needs 3 Omegas on her, but other tunes have kind of been taking them each time that I get anywhere near being able to deploy. But the answer is no. It's going to be another car crash. I'm sorry.
Well, watch a video. I think Warrior has some videos about this. You should watch his channel, you knucklehead.
I watch an awful lot of Warriors videos.
And it didn't help. What is going on? How do you mess up?
I keep forgetting the Resistance Trooper, and he's basic, which exposes. I wasn't using that, and then I thought I probably could do it without the airstrike. Yeah, bigger mistake to make.
God. All right. Oh, good. All right, next question. Now we'll go to Warrior. Let's see. This is from Can Guven. Why did the price of MK8 electro binocular components rise to 625 crystals per 25 pieces when it was 750 crystals for 50 pieces full craft before shipment updates?
Good question, and it's actually they're mistaken. So I talked to them about that, the breakup of whatnot that was in there. So it's actually 375 now. And that's exactly half of 750. So instead of selling a fully crafted piece for 750, they're selling half of them for 375. So you can buy it for the same amount of crystals. You just have to buy it twice for 2 sections and then put it together. And they're doing this for a couple of reasons. First, in Gear 12, it's a unique thing. They have I don't remember what it's called. I only know the nasty name people call it. But it's like one of the pieces. Basically, if you have 50 salvage, you can use it for one section in it. And if you take the salvage and build it together, you can use that for something else. It's the first time they've ever done that. So if you actually take 50 salvage pieces and build a unit out of it, you can no longer use that unit in that section that needed the 50 salvage. Does that make sense? It's hard to explain, but so it's weird. Yeah, because for example, I'll give you an example. I don't know the names off the top of my head, but it would be like a stun cuff, them requiring you to have a stun cuff or 50 stun cuff salvage. So you have to have one or the other. So what that does is it basically, if you've got the salvage, you can't build a full stun cuff with it because it's actually asking for the salvage versus the main one. So they wanted to sell it in the salvage so you could make the decision as to whether you want to have 50 salvage for this section of this character, or if a different character was asking for a full piece, you could take those 50 salvage and build it. But I don't know why, but they created this differentiation even with the same one. And so they did that. The second is it makes it a little bit harder. You have to go through and you have to do more refreshes to find all of the pieces that you'll need, and so it causes people to spend a little bit more crystals on refreshes, and there's always a reason for that.
Yeah.
So one thing really quick, Warrior. So Can Guven is commenting on what you're saying. He's saying all the other ones are fine at 375, but for some reason the MK8 electro binoculars are showing up as 625, and he's going to be sending me the screenshots in Discord shortly. So he's thinking that there's a bug with that one particular one.
Yeah, because if you look, all the others, I don't know specific to that one, but all the others are 375 for 25 pieces, and it's the ones that used to be full gold 750 for the full piece, and they've dropped it to the 375 for half. And so the droid callers, that's what they're called. So there are the characters, there are some slots now that actually ask for 50 droid caller salvage And then there's other spots where it actually requires a Mark 6 droid collar, like a droid collar, like no salvage. And if you have the 50 salvage pieces, I only figured this out on accident. I had 2 characters that needed a droid collar. One, it had a 1 by the droid collar, and the other one said 50 salvage. And I thought, well, that's the same thing. It's semantic. What the heck? And so I took my 50 pieces and crafted it. And the one character that was glowing as if he could be upgraded went away, and I could only now upgrade the other guy who had the 1 fully crafted piece. And so I had to go buy 50 more salvage and leave him as salvage to upgrade the other guy. And that's exactly what I had to do. And I was like, what the heck? So now they're actually taking advantage of pieces of gear in both of their forms, both in the salvage form and in the non-salvage form. And so that's why they're doing that. They've got to create a differentiation when they sell it now if they're going to do that. And I think they're doing that because I think at some point in game, Gear 13, maybe the end, who knows, Gear 14, and they're probably going to have a lot of that, that varying amount, making it so confusing that it's really hard to figure out how to upgrade your character.
That is crazy, man. Jesus. That is such an odd change.
It is a weird change. It's like, hey, I've got 50 salvage. I could put it on this guy or this guy.
Wrong.
I have to leave it salvage, and if I put it on this guy, I have to craft it and put it on him. But it's the same Mark 6 droid collar. It's just, what are you going to do? Are you going to, fully craft it or leave it as salvage? It's weird.
That is so weird. All right. Let's get on to the next question. This is from Ravi Clozit. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I apologize. Let's go to Darth Bella. Bella, you there, my young apprentice?
I'm here.
Good.
Great.
I have a question for you. How many Gear 12 characters, I think this is for everybody, we'll start with you, Miss Bella. How many Gear 12 characters do you have, and who was the first? We know you have like 900 Zetas, but we won't talk about that right now.
At the moment, I have 6 Gear 12. And I could have another one.
Ooh.
I'm not sure if I do the next one to have 7, and because then I would have my full arena team, Gear 12.
Very nice.
And the question was, who was my first? That is no real question because you asked Darth Bella.
That's
and
right.
of course, Darth Bella had to give a golden coating to the best tin can in the galaxy.
Would that be Ugnaught?
No!
No, it's Chopper.
Chopper. That's bold.
Chopper. It's R2-D2.
Of course.
R2-D2 was my first.
Absolutely. Awesome. Anybody else want to answer this questions? How many Gear 12s or anything?
I've gone to 8 now.
8?
Yeah, I'm at like 9 or 10. I don't know. I've kind of lost the luster. It was fun at first. It was like, ooh, click, ooh, click, ooh, click, and now I'm like, it doesn't really do anything. Just to drop them from 11 to 12, it's fun to watch it go gold, but the stat boost isn't huge. It's not significant. The real significance comes in those 3 extra pieces of Gear 12 that you can put in, and nobody's really doing that yet. So, yeah. So yeah, it's lost its luster.
I've got a bunch of characters close. I'm waiting to see kind of where everything falls out. I'm kind of hoarding a little bit. And then I'll make my move where I'll be like, all right, these 5 characters, Gear 12, go. So I'm just kind of waiting. And I've been kind of looking at the numbers and stuff. So I'm holding back just a little bit, hoarding a little gear for mine. King Felix, are you just throwing them in there, or what are you doing, bud?
I did Commander Luke and Raid Han, and I could do a couple more, but I just did those 2, and now I'm holding on.
Yeah.
I would do Kenobi, but I don't have him at 7 stars for another about 6 weeks.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. Next question will go to King Felix, and this is from Martin Waterman. He has a question. I'm running Commander Luke Skywalker, but no Zeta, with a Zeta Han, with a Zeta R2 number crunch. Who should I use for the last 2 slots for Arena?
So was the first one Luke? Is that what he said?
Yeah, but he has no Zeta on there. You see, but I'm wondering who he should run for the last 2 slots because he's running CLS. I'm assuming lead with no Zeta, but Zeta Han, Zeta R2, and with number crunch. He's asking who he should use for the last 2 slots of Arena.
That's who I've been using, and I've been mixing the last 2 slots up a lot with between Kenobi and Baze. I like the double taunt, but against some of the teams in my arena, I need an extra cleanse, so I'll take Baze out for Rex or Chirrut, depending on how I feel. A Zeta Barris would work as well. I'm going to do the Sir Loki once I have the gear and do First Order Stormtrooper, but
yeah,
I'm not there yet.
There's a couple ways you can go with this. You could go Chirrut and Baze with that team. I've seen people run Nihilus and Thrawn with that.
Yeah. Nihilus just dies too. If you're going up against another Commander Luke team,
well, if he's protected with R2 and stuff, it'll work. Especially if you're going first. That you get your Nihilus off, but it's a little bit RNG. I think the other team I've seen with those two has also been Zeta Barris with Kenobi. Good look.
Old Ben too.
Yeah, some people have been using Old Ben. There's a lot of different ways you can go, so you're not just limited to Chirrut and Baze. I run Chirrut and Baze just because it's just, for me, it gives me so much flexibility and stuff. So, but everybody's running it, so it just Arena right now is so, it's Commander Luke and everybody has it, and it's just like defense. It's everybody can beat anybody right now. It's really crazy. You get those one-off teams that you may have bad RNG with, but it's. You just got to pick the team that we just gave you a bunch of options. You can go with that.
So I want to go there, though. I want to go there with the whole Barisafi and General Kenobi. That's one of the worst. Team, man. That's one of the worst setups in the game. Why does everybody like it? Tell me why you like it, or why you think it's hard.
Because it becomes, if you're running certain teams, if you don't have like a Nihilus, because a lot of people are running just Commander Luke, and you can run maybe Leia or stuff like that. I run into this issue where it's like you can't kill the bastards, because it's like, and so then I
wanted to go there because I am going to make a video on it. I'm in the middle of making the video on it, but I want to go over it with the people watching. They're going to be blessed, and everybody listening is going to be blessed by this. Yes, that is the easiest team composition to beat. General Kenobi and Barris are a paradox that shouldn't be put together. They are counterintuitive. They don't work well together, even though everyone thinks they do. And this is why. So let me just briefly explain this. Yes, everybody take notes. Get your pens out. So what happens is there's just a couple things you need. First off, you need any character that can apply buff immunity. There's about 3 or 4 in the game right now that are pretty decent. You could even go with a B2 battle droid, which I used to toot that horn all the time. But let's just go with the most current buff immunity character, which is CLS. Pretty much everybody has them and is running them, and it's crazy, right? Everyone's got them. So you got buff immunity. The second is all you need to do is hit anybody with a crit. Now, pretty much every team is built around critical characters, right? Mm-hmm. So your buff immunity, and you got your critical damage. You're done. That's it. You can beat them. That's it. You're done. There you go. You're welcome. So the way it works is you hit somebody that you want to kill, anyone, a Barisafi, for God's sakes, hit her. And he is going to proc, and he's going to give her critical hit immunity. And the moment he gives her critical hit immunity, it's done. It's over. All you have to do is put buff immunity on his head. His ability to give critical hit immunity will stay up. It will continue to proc and continue to give these other characters. And then the kill order can be anybody but General Kenobi. You don't kill him because he's going to ensure that you don't crit, which means that all your heavy hitters that hit for 20k and 15k are going to hit for 7 and 8k, which is fine because hitting Barris for 7 and 8k means she doesn't heal and she dies very, very fast. Because she has critical hit immunity and she's taken 6k, 8k, 6k, 5k, 6k, 8k, and you'll just walk right through her. Then you move to another character, hit them with a crit, they get critical hit immunity, maybe reapply the buff immunity at this point, depends on how fast you can shoot through them, and you work through that guy. You kill all 4, and then you go to General Kenobi at the end, and it's a walkthrough. I can do it in a minute and a half every single time, and these are like 36,000 health Barasofis. The critical hit immunity means you're not going to crit, which means he's not going to proc his taunt, and they are not going to gain an ounce of health. So you can just literally chew right through health and protection.
So who are you recommending to hit first on that team? Not Kenobi, but or does it depend on who they have?
So the only caveat is you have to have buff immunity, so you can apply that to their CLF or to their General Kenobi, because when he procs and gives them that crit hit immunity, he buffs or he taunts, right? So you obviously want the taunt to fail, because otherwise that's the problem. You have to keep going back to him, but you don't have to keep going back to him because you put the buff immunity, and so his crit hit immunity will keep triggering. And so you can kill anyone, but you have to leave General Kenobi for last, and the reason is you need his ability to trigger that critical hit immunity up at least long enough to kill Barris, but preferably everybody, because it just makes a walkthrough for everyone. Now, when Barris Offie's killed, if you kill her first, then you can go to town and kill him how you want if you really want to. But if you're not able to get to Barris because R2D2 spun and put the stealth on Darth Nihilus like it does sometimes, or whatever, you just hit Darth Nihilus once. He'll get critical hit immunity, and then the next subsequent shots from your Han Solo or your Leia or your Ezra or whoever you're using, it's going to end up doing massive damage, even though it didn't crit. Because remember, I mean, Leia and these other DPS characters are still hitting for 6 to 10k.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On a non-crit. And so it does chew through people pretty quickly. It's kind of like special damage. You could also use special damage characters for the same thing. Build a team that has all special damage people, like Thrawn and characters like that, Emperor Palpatine, and make sure they don't have critical chance and damage, just offense. And they're not going to crit, which means you're never going to proc those two abilities, and you'll just chew right through them. But I don't find Barris difficult at all whatsoever, especially when she's with General Kenobi. If I'm going to run Barris, General Kenobi's not on the team. I'll put her with Chirrut and Baze and watch people hate me for days. But I would never put her with General Kenobi, because he ruins her ability to heal.
Well said. All right.
I hope that helps listening, man. I hope it helps, because that's the number one complaint I get, those General Kenobi Barris Offie teams, and they're easy. They're not hard at all. As long as kill order is, hitting General Kenobi with buff immunity and then just tackling everybody else who's getting that crit hit immunity.
Gotcha.
I use it as an opportunity to run my Nihilus lead. I run 4 Siths and Thrawn fractures and then and just go to town with 4 non-critting Sith.
Game on. Turbo, did you join? Turbs. You wanker.
Charming. I thought you were PG-13 this time.
If wanker's not PG-13, then I don't know what the heck to say. Well, welcome, Turbs.
Well, hello there.
Well, hello there. Are you ready to participate, be a part of the crew, and answer some questions?
Yeah, I can weigh in, yeah.
Okay, let's give you a question then. This comes from Young Gun 8834. And he says, I'm the leader of my guild. Someone's getting a call. I'm the leader of my guild, and we recently lost some members, and we're pushing for a heroic AAT. Would joining an alliance be beneficial for filling the guild and getting to that hat? What do you think there, Turbs?
Potentially it could be, yeah. Depends, I suppose depends which guild, but we've, over time, done plenty of mergers and stuff with people in BHG and when we were formerly FTB. Yeah, it's, as long as you find the right one that's beneficial for both, then yeah, it works.
I agree. All right. Let's see here. We are back to the top. I lost track. Oh, no. Let's see here. Mike. This is from our good friend Keyboard, and she says, what do you all think of VC and VH? I think we can put that to everybody.
I think they're interesting. I do believe Warrior made a great video on them, which highlights the fact that they're anti-meta. They're going to be the meta to go against CLS, if we're using acronyms or whatever. I like them. I mean, who can't field enough Han Solos?
I mean, we've got four now. One more, and we've got the Pentagon.
Yeah. Well, I ran a full house Galactic War, Trip Hands, and a pair of Lukes. I will be doing the same with two Chewies, I think, or maybe it'll be four hands and a Chewie. I don't know, 4-hand Chewie.
I think we can safely say that Sabine is no longer the ugliest character in the game, though.
No, the big-eared Han
shocking.
That was pointed out by Crazy Excuses.
He looks shocking.
She was like, he's got really big old man ears. I'm like, well, that's the first thing you notice, Crazy? She's like, yes. I'm like, okay. So where you did a video of this, what do you think?
So this is the deal. I am a YouTuber, and I'm designed to build a video, throw out a little theory crafting, have a little fun, and shock the world and get people to watch a video, right? So I don't always say something that's true. Sometimes I'm posing a question. So I'm not saying that they're going to be meta changing. However, I do know for a fact they built these two characters specifically. They built them. I don't know if they'll work or not, but they built them to go against the current meta. It was their way of creating non-rebels, scoundrels that would be different, that would work against the current meta. And the way that they work against the current meta isn't that he one-shotted Luke Skywalker, which is what my thumbnail was. That doesn't matter. The fact that
it doesn't work that way? Well, damn it, I don't want him.
It doesn't?
It can work that way, especially when you're running a Boba Fett lead like they exemplified. But no, what I'm talking about is they have a unique stacking ability, and in an arena battle, that stacking ability is pretty devastating if you leave them alone. If you don't get to them, if you go, they're not that big a deal, I'm going to kill his CLS first and his R2-D2 first. Their stacking ability is going to give them a lot of potency, and I don't mean potency as in the potency of game, but damage, detrimental effects they're going to be able to apply. You got to be really careful. The second that that's built into them, which really makes them anti-meta, is they have a redonkulous amount of health steal and counter capability. So even if you're kind of hacking at them a little bit, unless you're dedicated to annihilating them quickly, metaphorically speaking, with your Han Solos and everything, you're having to attack with Leia and Han Solo and take them out quick. If you don't do that, what happens is they're going to lose a little attack back and get health steal. They're going to lose a little attack back and get health steal, and they're never going to die. These characters never die. They're built to never die, and that's why they're so good in territory battles, because they just are designed to constantly regenerate their health and never die. And then because they're never dying, they get more and more potent, and all of a sudden they're hitting for 50 and 100K. And so that's why territory battles works well, because the AI doesn't focus and target on these characters. Now in arena,
also
you put
why
these...
we will get Carbonite Han next, because he cannot die.
Right.
And
Carbonite Han in there.
Carbonite Han.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So basically,
doesn't he need a lot of carbantes though?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that there's a possibility that they can be anti-meta. The trick is going to be kind of like Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum. Everybody's like, oh, I thought she was going to be good. She is good. If you don't know that she's good, then you've never ran her properly. But she does require you to actually build an entire team around her to make sure that when the AI uses her, that she's collecting buffs, and that you know that even when you're not playing her, she's going to be one-shot somebody on the other side because of the characters you put around her. These two guys are going to require some, I would put them with General Kenobi and Chirrut and Baze, honestly, because General Kenobi is going to keep them from being critted, so you know they're going to survive, and they're going to get that health steal when they counter. And the Baze and Chirrut, that's heavy damage and heavy tanking, And of course, you're going to have 2 tanks. And so now you've got 2 tanks you got to try and go through, and both are disruptive. One taunts when someone dies, and one taunts when, Chirrut goes below 100% health, and Chirrut's over there hitting for 42k. You know what I mean? So you're like, damn, I got to deal with him. And now you've got these 2 people who everybody thinks are dumb sitting on the sidelines, and you're like, man, I'm not going to worry about them. I need to get this General Kenobi out of here because that's kill order, because he keeps taunting and screwing with me. And so you try to get through General Kenobi, and then you accidentally kill, or hit Chirrut for too much on an AoE, and now you got to deal with Baze again. You're like, damn it. And here you are. You got these 2 guys stacking offense and defense and countering and 50% health steal. And so all of a sudden you're with this nightmare team that's difficult to get through. So you got to build a whole team around these 2 characters, of course. And the footage they gave me was not a team I would have built. So it looked okay offensively, but obviously people said defensively that would have been walked through, and they're right. I would agree with that. But I'm not saying they're going to change the meta. I was posing a question. These could be meta-changing characters potentially with their kits and in theory. And I know I've talked to the devs. That's the whole point of these characters, was basically put out a couple characters that's going to kind of put a small quell into what's happening. Characters that would help.
All right.
So I saw some theorizing as well that they'll be required for unlocking characters leading up to the next movie.
So
speculation.
Yeah, I have no idea, to be completely honest. But
no.
There's a new movie coming out, and we know that these characters are from the last movie, so it would make complete sense if they're trying, and we don't know, but if they're trying to keep some logical progression, that since we needed 5 characters from a particular genre to unlock CLS, it would only make sense to have 5 particular characters from this genre or this movie to be able to unlock the next Luke kind of things. So I could see these 2 being part of Luke's journey, and Leia from Territory Battles. So potentially, not that really makes a lot of sense, but you know what I mean? Sometimes their decisions don't make complete sense. But I could see them building, you have to have the old people to get the old guy. You know what I mean?
Or to unlock the young Australian girl with a lightsaber, maybe.
Did you just call her Australian?
No, I didn't.
You bastard. We don't talk about
it's the accent.
Oh, it's the accent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to move on. Mike, I just want you to think about your life and what you just said.
I know.
All right. Sure. We'll go to Darth Bella. Darth Bella, another question for my young apprentice. This is from Zeri SPC. Question. What should we do with Territory Battle currency? Should we hoard it? Get Hermit Yoda? Gear? What do you think?
That's a good question, and actually it depends where you are with your game right now and what you as a guild want to achieve. I mean, you can get gear if it gets your character to 12 that you actually can use. Why not? Hermit Yoda, I can't really say. I think it depends on your own game plan. You can't obviously buy all. You have to focus on some things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because even the best guilds didn't get huge amounts, and it's not like a tank or rancor which you can play every second day.
Yeah, I think, with Gear 12, I mean, what you should do with the I mean, obviously Gear is the most important thing right now. Do you want to go for characters getting Gear 12? You can do that. You can hoard it kind of like I am and kind of see how things are playing out and then spend it for your characters. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can go. Hermit Yoda, he's a great character, but I think I'm putting him on the back burner for right now because it's like. Well,
personally, I'm not right now going for Hermit Yoda, but
I'm not either.
I have more, or let's say, other characters I need to build at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
What I wouldn't do is go for the normal stuff like the gear you get elsewhere,
mm-hmm.
orphans the shards you get elsewhere often, the ships you can get from other sources. So use the stuff that is really exclusive in that shop.
I agree.
And the rest is up to you. If you want Hermit Yoda because that's the only character that is missing, then go for him.
Yeah, there's lots of different ways you can go about it. I think you know what? I think the thing is what's best for you and your roster, and what's going to be best for you and your guild, and moving forward with territory battles. I think is the way to go. All right. Next question is for Warrior, and this is from Heather Douglas. She said, "This is a fun question for Warrior. Warrior, can you hire me at your job? I want to lay on a Sleep Number mattress and play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes all day. Can you make this happen?"
Does she live in Grand Junction?
I don't know. I'm just throwing the question there. She just wants, can you hire me? And because she wants to lay on a sleep mattress all day and play Star Wars. I don't think she'll be a very productive employee, but I mean,
oh, she'll be as productive as any of my employees. If she's in Grand Junction, come and see me.
There you go, Heather. Oh, God. All right. That was the fun question from Heather. Now, here's her serious question. And she kind of throws this out to everybody, but we'll start with you, Warrior, maybe, and we'll go around. Is everyone disappointed with the Territory Battle reward boxes as much as I am? What do you think about the rewards? Bit. Yeah, I was a little disappointed.
This is what happened. Hard. They randomized the box, gave us a box, and the box they gave us was the same for everybody. And so, I mean, I'm not tooting my horn just going off of what we got. We did get number one in the world at 44 stars.
Well, the other two got 41. So, we got the top prize box. It's like, but then it's like, what happened?
But we didn't get any full crafted pieces, and we only got like 10 of one piece and 10 of another piece and 10 of another. So we got like 4. I saw people that were in the 20s and 30 stars that were getting fully crafted pieces and like 2 sets of some other stuff. And I'm like, I know it's randomized, but it should be randomized better stuff. I don't know, because, there's people now that have Gear 12 characters, like with Gear 12 pieces in it, and they earned that from territory battles, and their team didn't do as well as us, and we're sitting here with no Gear 12 after having completed the world's first 44-star territory battle. So I don't know. I think the rewards should be almost doubled because the currency is not a lot. So the currency needs to be doubled. The rewards need to be doubled. It's going to take 1,000,000 years to get all the characters up to that high. So give us more. It's not like we're going to all be Gear 12 in the next week. Don't worry about that,
Yeah, it was really odd. I think everybody and I just think Team Mystic, we're kind of looking at the rewards like, what? we kicked butt for this, I don't understand that, because if you look at the tiers themselves, it's like, as you progress up, you're like, well, shouldn't we have got a little bit better rewards than this? How does that work? I'm not sure how they've got that set up, but CG, you kind of need to look at that a little bit. I'm just saying, I mean, if you have 3 guilds that all get 41 stars or higher, and they get less gear than someone that got in the 20 stars, I'm happy for the people that in the 20 stars that got gear, but the fact that didn't happen, I don't understand the reward system. What about you guys, throw it out to the rest of the panel. What did you guys think of the rewards?
Bad.
Because what did you guys
finish? It shouldn't be RNG. It should be a ladder. It should be some sort of a ladder.
I mean, if it's RNG, it should be RNG for that tier level of rewards that you get, right? So, and even then, it should be better than, I think, someone that gets 20 stars, right? I don't know. Am I off my kilter for that thinking, or? I was directing that at you, Turbo.
Oh, sorry. I don't think you're too far wrong. The higher you finish, the better the reward should be. It shouldn't be the same RNG for somebody who gets 42, 43, 44 as what it is for somebody who gets 20 stars. It shouldn't be the same sort of pick of prizes. RNG, it should be laddered, and like you say, if you really want to throw a bit of RNG in, then throw some in. But the ones in the 40s should definitely be getting better rewards than the ones in the 30s. It might sound horrible, but why else would you push and try and compete for 40 stars if you're not going to get any better rewards?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
Yeah.
Well,
So
they dropped the ball, I think.
Yeah, King Felix, this is for you, but I'm sure this is from Raza972. But did anyone get fully crafted 12 pieces and TV reward boxes? Did you get any, King Felix?
No. We got 39 stars, and I think I got like 11 pieces or 11 salvage of one piece and 22 salvage of another. We only got, I think, three pieces total, and it was salvage on all three. At first I was like, this is going to be terrible if this is all you get for 39 stars. No one is going to have gear 12 max characters for like a year. But then you start going through Reddit and Facebook and all this other thing, and there's a guild somewhere in a Spanish-speaking country that gets 20 stars, and they got like 3 fully crafted pieces. So, yeah, I was confused. But our RNG is what it is, I guess.
Do you think that we might need to do a few, so like maybe base it on maybe 3 territory battles to give them an opportunity that maybe those that got great rewards on the first territory battle will get what we deemed underwhelming, and we'll be like, oh, this is better, sort of thing, if we get a better drop next time round.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering whether they kind of spread it out like that.
The point is, it shouldn't be spread out. The point is, if your guild does better, they should get better rewards. It's just a simple concept, I mean.
But not only. I mean, I think there's more than one thing wrong, and actually, Warrior already said that. But it's not all, and you others as well. I think it's that some with less stars got better gear, and as a whole, we expected better rewards. Like it's relatively and absolutely not fitting. I mean, you have to see that everyone who's playing a little more serious and really wants to win something, what we did to our rosters. I mean, we've been working very hard on those galactic power, to increase galactic power, and so EA could also kind of give us a good reward for that, because I think it was. I would be interested to know the figures, how much money was spent in, let's say, 2 weeks prior to territory battle compared to I don't know, the means or something, or the ways some weeks back.
No, it's a great question. Yeah.
I'd love to see the spike, the cliff base that is the fleet mega packs, where no one was been touching them, and then all of a sudden it's like fire sale.
You need a Falcon.
Can you imagine that? It was really crazy.
It's some interesting questions. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. So, the territory battles come back this Monday. All right. Turbo. This is from HBK146. And he wants to know, and it's for the panel, but we'll start with you. What does the panel think of a General Kenobi, Bears, Hermit Yoda, Darth Nihilus, R2-D2 team? Is it unbeatable for Rebel crit teams, or just a nuisance?
Probably more than a nuisance. It might be nice to go up on a defense, but where's your attack on that? I can't see you beating anybody in the 5 minutes.
Yeah, Darth Nihilus can only annihilate.
Yeah, but the Yoda will
3 people max, though, aren't you? So
yeah, Yoda will put it onto Nihilus, surely, to keep countering. Set a new world record on annihilates.
Oh yeah, it'd be a nuisance. I can't see it being too much fun to play. Sounds like a team that I'd maybe want to avoid, yeah, but it doesn't sound like a fun team. And obviously there is on the flip side, like what Warrior said, having General Kenobi in there does actually hinder you a little bit with the crit, with the anti-crit, the crit immunity. Should we say?
Stick Bays in instead.
Yeah, another tank. Old Ben.
It's an interesting setup, but yeah.
Just sound annoying.
Yeah. All right. Back to the top. We'll start with Mike. This is from our friend Heather Douglas. She says, "Question: what do you think about getting a 7-star Rolo and 7-star Commander Han just to do that Tier 6 mission?"
I'm one of the idiots that actually has a 7-star Han.
Commander Han or Captain Han?
Captain Han, yeah. I know.
Now, I'm a little off. I don't think I've had enough coffee. Did they change? It's still 7 stars for that Tier 3 battle to get Rolo.
No, it's 5.
It's
No,
5
that's
now.
5.
So you need 5. You need
Yeah.
you need a 5-star soldier and a Hoth Rebel soldier and a 5-star Captain Solo. Right?
Did last time. I don't know whether that's set in stone
it
to
was
continue.
7, right? Or
yeah, they changed it to 7, and then
changed it back
everyone
to
was
5.
up in arm. Everyone put in a credit, a refund request, and yeah, they very quickly changed it back. But I'm noticing with the EA game changers that there's a great big capital lettered caveat on all the new videos, subject to change now.
That's a great point.
Which
I altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it again.
Well said, my young apprentice. You're learning quickly.
I liked how you jumped on that and highlighted very quickly that was a fake. That was on the date and everything.
Well, let me ask you, Warrior, because that brought up a lot of debate on our last show about that. Or not our last show. We did a special just about territory battles, and that was a big point of contention between a lot of us in the player base and stuff. Because you had put out the video, great video about territory battles, showed 5 stars. Then when we opened up territory battles, it was 7 stars. And the big debate was that people felt screwed, basically, because they wouldn't normally pay, right? $10, right, to get the Captain Solo, to get it to 5-star, right? They made the investment,
Right.
And then all of a sudden it became 7 stars, and they felt like they kind of got swindled. Now, Affinity had made the point that was jacked up. Grande, we had a debate on the show. I wasn't there, but they had a debate that Grande was like, "What's only $10? You know, you're getting some shards for a character that you're eventually going to need." But Finn's like, "Yeah, but you kind of misled the public, and you kind of screwed the game changers, because you're having them put out content to hype this thing, and they're trying to tell the players what to do, and then it turned out that you did totally the reversal." So as a game changer, we never got a perspective from a game changer right after that happened.
If you follow me on Twitter,
I don't have time for that, Warrior.
Yeah, if you do that, you'll know exactly how I felt. I went to Facebook, I went to social media, Twitter and Instagram and everything, and I hit them really, really hard. And I mean, I really like the game, and I really like the developers of making the game and everything like that. But I'm not in their pocketbook, and I do have my own opinions on everything. And I was jaded for a bunch of reasons. First, when we were there and we were looking at all of it, I said, this is honestly pretty simple, but it seems overtly complicated. And they said, that's your job. You're to take this, what appears to be complicated matter, and make it simplistic for them. So you make a video and make that happen. Like, that's what you do. And I said, no worries, I can do that. So I'll make a couple of videos, a quick one and a long one. So whoever my clientele base is can go, I want to get the nuts and bolts, or I want to know everything in detail, including like every enemy I'll go against, kind of thing. So I made both of the videos. Now, they said, make sure they understand every facet of it. You guys do this. Also, Mobile Gamer had he had interviewed a developer, and in the interview, he goes over all the requirements. He said, so what are the people going to have to expect? Like, what character requirements are there? And they said, well, they're going to have a Hoth Rebel soldier, Hoth Rebel scout. And he's like, well, what star level? And so they're telling him, all of these requirements. They're telling him, and they didn't say this is subject to change. They didn't tell us any of this was going to change. And so what happened was they released these packs, and then a bunch of people start buying in on these characters, right? Especially the new Han Solo, the one with all of the snow on his shoulder that that looks like he's got dandruff and he's constantly shaking it off. And so they go in and they all buy it. They buy enough packs well, first off, this is the first time I've ever seen them sell a character pack that didn't unlock the character.
I know. That's a great
they sold
point.
a $10 pack that had 40, and I thought it was just a character pack, like every other character pack in the world. So I was telling people, yeah, buy it. $10 is great. You'll unlock him and stuff. And people were like, you idiot, you need to unlock him. And I was like, are you? Yeah. But so I went in and I bought it. And of course, I got half the character. So then I was committed to having to buy those stupid $12.99 packs, which everyone, I hope, under the sound of my voice knows those are a ripoff. And I know they're a ripoff. But at that point, I was forced to because I already invested in him. And I'm trying to get him to 5-star. And I thought I had 4 stars. Now I'm like, crap, I got to shore this up with those little $12.99 packs. So then I'm spending money on these $12.99 packs, and so I invest more money, like another $50 in crystals to try to get him up to 5-star. Get him up to 5-star. Get him up to Gear 9. I'm all happy and excited. And then later like the very next day or whatever, it comes out that he's needed to be 7-star. So I was upset personally and professionally. Professionally because I got to misrepresent a product that I was told to represent proudly, and I did. And then I was told, basically, under no uncertain circumstances, that it was our fault for misrepresenting the product because we didn't bother to say this was subject to change. And so they did initially. They have since come forward and apologized to us, but they did throw us under the bus.
Yeah, that was a big thing that really pissed me off, and I'll say that.
Yeah.
And it pissed.
Game Changers should have let everyone know this is subject to change, and they didn't do a good enough job of that. But moving forward, we'll make sure.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
So that hurt me personally and professionally because I'm doing this as a favor to them.
No, we defended you, brother. You were covered, man. Don't even worry.
They didn't pay me a penny to do any of this. Obviously, that video is one of my highest grossing videos of all time, so I got money out of it by making the production, and they included me, which I was happy with because I was one of 3 people that got to go. So I was super happy and all that. And I don't want to sound unappreciative. It was just It's like my reputation on the line, and all of a sudden I'm lying to everybody about the requirements, and I'm telling people, go into these packs, get them to 5-star, and then everyone does, and then they're like, it's not even enough, you got to get them to 7. So this is what my analogy is and why I was upset. And I didn't request money back. I decided I was going to go to social media and apply as much social pressure as possible. Basically, it's like if they have a nightclub and they say, hey, come to our nightclub, it's going to be $200 entry fee, and you're like, okay, cool. So you in advance buy a $200 ticket to get to the nightclub. And so you get all ready, you get your clothes ready, blah, blah, blah. You go that night, and then when you get to the door, they say, oh, well, there's a service fee of $200 to actually get in. This gets you to the front of the line. Sorry, you actually get in, have to pay another $200 or whatever to actually go in. That just got you to the front of the line. And you're like, what? You said it was $200 to get in. So what happened is it's the halfway commitment that everybody made that they didn't know was a halfway commitment. Everyone thought it was a full-in commitment, only to find out later that it was a halfway commitment. So now they've either A, wasted a lot of money unknowingly, or B, they have to commit even more money, which is what EA wanted. Now, side note, I believe that it actually was them crunching numbers and realizing, crap, everybody, because they saw the pack sales and went, everybody's going to have him 5-star like tomorrow, so we better raise it to 7 stars because otherwise this section of territory battles is just going to be over in like a couple months. Like nobody's going to care about it in a couple of months. So they were thinking of longevity of the game, I believe, and that's why they raised it, because they wanted to create a little bit more longevity, because that's what they care about, right? The game lasting a long time. And they didn't think it fully through that it's going to look really, really bad to everybody, because it just looks like a nasty money grab to let people get halfway committed and then raise it on them after they're halfway invested. So I was really upset because I was halfway invested, and I was sitting there and I said, you know what, I refuse. I'm not spending another penny. They can lower it to 5-star, or I'll quit. I mean, honestly, that's kind of where I was at. I was pretty hurt by it. So I went to social media. I wasn't nice. I went to social media and I basically splayed them for my opinions and, used my analogy on Twitter and a bunch of stuff. I got a lot of support, and, it was, I had a lot of eyes on me from EA and Capital Games, and I got a lot of negative attention that I brought to myself, and I, possibly have burned some of that bridge a little bit for the future, but I felt like it was the right thing to do.
I don't understand how you burn bridges for correcting a mistake that they made. They threw you under the bus.
It's all going to be political and moving forward. Yes, where they gave us that tagline that says "subject to change." So when you get your characters and they don't hit for 51K, and the most they'll ever hit for is 30K, they can say, sorry, that's just what happens. So, take my video with a grain of salt always. I mean, I just throw out the videos as entertainment. That's what it is. It's entertainment. I do theory crafting, and, this is what they're possibly capable of. This is the footage we're being provided. This is what they could do or what you could put them with. But at the end of the day, it's all, I'm not saying, I think some people take my word as like it's bold, like Warrior said it, so it has to happen, and that's not the case at all. I posed that Darth Nihilus would be the next meta, and as far as the top 10 meta, it didn't happen. I figured he'd overtake Rex, and he didn't, but he did overtake in the top 100, in the top 500. I mean, Nihilus was still in the top 10 best leaders even up until just recently. So he did at some in some way kind of climb. But I'm not throwing those videos out there because I'm trying to be 100% right. I'm trying to get people to watch my content, and that does mean that sometimes I'm going to pose some crazy questions, and I may be right and I may be wrong, but I'm going to pose crazy questions and give you some footage and let you make a determination as a player as to what you think. And through that, and it creates discussion and community, and that's the whole point of my channel.
Absolutely. All right. Well said, my friend. All right. Let's move on to the next question. This is from Heather Douglas, and we're going to go to King Felix. This is from Cyber Shark, and he says, is there an update tool like shard.StarWarsGalaxyHeroes.live shop that shows whether it's worth farming or buying from shipments? For instance, MK4 back to gels. I'm not listed on there yet, but I did figure out it's the same energy to farm and same cost, so I figured out it's better to farm. Do you know of any sites, or how do you go about doing that, my friend?
I don't know of any sites personally. I know you can. There's I think it's for shards and gear on Crouching Rancor. It gives you like a projection of if you farm this much for this long, or it'll take you this long to achieve a 7-star character and stuff like that. I just do the math in my head pretty much for how much crystals it'll spend. That's why I rarely do more than 1 or 2 refreshes a day, and I just buy them out of the shipments because I have pretty bad luck when I farm gear.
Yeah, I have horrible luck just with any kind of farming that I do. Even when I buy a warehouse full of crystals and do it live on the stream, I get jacked up on what I get. Oh, look, I got Royal Guard. I'm already 7-starred him. What? It's legendary how that works out for me, and it's been proven on the stream. So, yeah, I don't know of a specific site yet. I think everybody's still trying to scramble to get all the data in there, Cyber. So I think your best bet is just to come to our Discord, ask questions. There's a lot of people there that can tell you whether you should invest in that or not and stuff like that, until we can get like a really solid site that has all the data in there, and where you can kind of look at it and stuff. So it's still, I think, a work in progress because we're still figuring our way out through territory battles and Gear 12 and stuff like that. All right.
Or just ask Warrior to make a video.
Yeah, there you go. See,
he's got all the time in the world, right, Warrior?
Laying on mattresses and. All right, next question is for Darth Bella. Big Bad Bone Daddy has a question. He says he doesn't have Commander Luke Skywalker. Should he go all in for the new Han and Chewie? Ooh, this is a nice question. Darth Bella.
Okay.
I pose the tough questions, my apprentice.
No, I'm just a bit. I don't know why he doesn't have Commander Luke Skywalker, because he's a great character.
Well, it could be he missed out on. He didn't have one of the other teams. Remember, there was a long list of things you had to have happen. Right, you had to have all the dark side to get R2, and then you had to have R2 to get Commander Luke, plus all the other rebels. Maybe he's a newer player and just hasn't got it yet. But now that Han and Chewie are available, you know.
Okay, that was right. You had to have specific characters.
Yeah. So he doesn't have Commander Luke's, but he's thinking to maybe counteract from, especially what the Warrior said, you know, maybe getting Han and Chewie. What do you think about that? Should he make that investment, or what do you think?
I haven't played with them. I mean, I did the events, the marquee events. I have them right now, and I use them in the events, and I must say they hit quite hard, and they are fun. And I don't know. I mean, I haven't been playing from day one, but I heard. I mean, we all talk about Chewie and get us some Chewie charts. And I think this new Chewie is real different. So it's really great to have a new Chewie. So why not go for him and his friend Han Solo? I think they have a good synergy and can be real great characters. I haven't upgraded them fully yet, obviously, because I need other characters first. But if he has the money and wants to invest, why not?
All right. Awesome. Turbo, you're up next. This is from Artorias Draknight. He says, what's the best dark side only arena team without Thrawn? Good luck, buddy.
Without Thrawn?
Without Thrawn.
Mike's probably better, more fitted to answer this, to be honest. Nihilus lead still works if you've got them all modded right and such, but against the majority of the characters that are out there,
they get trashed.
DS struggles. It's pretty much dead. To be honest.
Darkseid, man. I think this is a bigger question. Darkseid is getting the shaft right now, big time. I mean, Darkseid is really falling behind. I mean, they're great in a lot of areas, but especially with Arena, I mean, my God in heaven, this is just not viable. I mean, you can do somewhat decently, get top 100 and stuff, but to be a really powerhouse in the top 50 and stuff, I mean, if you look at the meta report, it says it all. You know, I mean, it's pretty brutal. I mean, Mike, what are your thoughts?
Hashtag make first order great.
I mean, my God, man, it's rough.
The only area that they excel at the moment is ships.
Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, and you can use them teams and different things, but I mean, like Arena, I mean, just can't use it for territory battles. I mean, you can, but it's really counterproductive, right? I mean, yeah, you got GW, yeah, you've got the Heroic AT with certain characters, but I mean, they're not viable really at all to be competitive in Arena.
GW, you'll only get to like Node 8 with Darkseid. Well, yeah. for me anyway at the moment.
Well, I do decently pretty well with that. With Thrawn, Shore Trooper, Death Trooper. Who else am I running? First or TIE Pilot, and I'll run Grand Moff Tarkin lead. In kind of mixed match there. I mean, you can do really well with GW. You're not gonna. I mean, because Thrawn can keep. You have your taunt with Short Trooper, and Thrawn just keeps giving him his protection back, and it gives you a lot of viability. But other than that, I'm really struggling.
I run first order, and I switch Fu out for Thrawn, just to replace some protection and that. But yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, I'll run a whole heap of nodes with my Darth Maul, Sith squad, maybe a Nihilus, but the thing is, as soon as you come across a CLS, as soon as Nihilus does an AOE, he's gone.
Yeah. They really need to revamp a lot of work. I mean, it's things like the Emperor and Darth Vader, two of the most powerful characters in the game. Just they get destroyed.
If you're going to run Darth Nihilus, you need to run R2D2.
Yeah.
You have to run R2D2, or you need to run Darth Nihilus under Darth Maul. The only problem with Darth Maul, he does do days, so that's good, and that's why you could run him, and his AOE potentially wouldn't kill himself. Every other AOE basically is a suicide, but running him under that would give him the stealth. But essentially, those are the only two that I could see even viable. But you got to have him stealth, otherwise, you're right. It's a suicide mission.
You're just gonna get. I mean, you just get crushed. Especially with all the
with
things.
R2D2, he does very well.
Yeah, R2D2. But I mean, like, if you want to run just like a dark side team, or just run evil characters, golly,
and let's face it, we all want to do that. I still want to Gear 12 SAS.
Evil. It's pretty brutal. All right. Next question. I lost track of where I was. I think we are back to the top. So, Mike, this is from for you, good old Maurice. Thinking about gearing 12 nuke gun ray to pair with Leia behind a wall of invisibility and tanks. Do you think this is viable?
No.
No.
No, I don't. I'm just thinking it's the.
I know. It's one of those questions wait, nuke gun ray?
Was it Lugo? Somebody came up with it, didn't they? And within days, the devs nerfed Newt. So
6 hours.
6 hours. Yeah. I get it. I just don't think it'll have enough. I mean, I've played around with it. Newt's one of my kind of secret favorites. Just sort of
what did you say?
Yeah, he's fugly, he's cowardly, and yet he hits quite hard. I'd run him in my credit heist and smuggling, or I was until I got a bucket load of Hans.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Warrior. This next question is from Good on Maurice as well. He says, I have 40 Zetas I'm looking to set on fire. Thinking of ST Han and Farm Boy, pairing them with a countering SRP from a CLS lead. Need a suggestion for a fifth. Haas Scout, maybe, to generate massive turn meter. Oh boy. 40 Zetas, Stormtrooper Han and Farm Boy Luke.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that.
No.
There are a lot of characters that sound really, really cool. And like, oh, he gives 15% turn meter, and this guy's given 20% turn meter, and all this turn meter boost is just going to make me amazing. But what you trade off for that turn meter is quality of the character to someone that's not as good as somebody else. And I'd rather have a slightly slower and better team than a faster team that is lackluster in abilities. And while the reworks make them better, I just think those Zetas would be better suited going towards either waiting like you are, or going towards territory battle characters that are going to get you more currency because they're allowing you. Now, if you're completing all 114 stars in territory battles every time, and then your teams are sufficient, you don't need to invest any more Zetas into them necessarily, and then you can focus on arena. But if you're not getting 114 stars earned on territory battles, then you need to be focusing on territory battles, in my opinion, because everything you earn, the team earns. Everything the team earns, in turn, gives the entire team, in theory, better rewards. We know that's not true, but I mean, hopefully at some point it will be reflective of that.
Yeah, there's just so many characters you need for territory battles that have Zetas that you just have to get. But if you get Zetas, oh boy. All right, let's see here. Darth Bella, we have some requests for you. We have some people that would like you to do some quotes, Miss Bella, my young apprentice. And the first one, Grim wants you to say, "You underestimate the power of the dark side." And they want you to use your dark side voice.
I think she's bobbed out, Ranger. I saw it flash up saying she's left.
Did she?
So I don't know if she's lost connection or if she's had to go, but she's not here.
We will come back to this.
Please leave a dark side message after the beep.
Yeah.
Beep.
I'm using the toilet. Get back with me later. All right. Well, then we'll go to our next question. We will go to King Felix. This is for Martin Waterman. Question: would a CLS lead with a Zeta Han, Zeta Leia, Zeta R2, and Ezra be a good in arena? Zeta Han, Zeta Leia, Zeta R2, D2, and Ezra be good in arena. CLS lead. I think
my arena shard, no. If I've tried to run it tankless and just too many people, there's not enough health. Depending on your shard, completely, but I still think at least one tank is preferable, if not necessary. So
yeah, I agree.
I'd throw probably an old Ben in there for Ezra or a GK.
Yeah, because you've got enough hard hitters with Luke and Leia, and Han hits pretty hard too.
Han is the best attacker right now. He's better than Luke, in my opinion. When you Zeta him, I have him triple tapping people for like 60,000, and they're gone.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. Okay, let's see.
In this meta, really quick,
Sure, go.
If you don't want to be defeated, you actually have to. One, it's almost impossible to be defeated. I mean, some people are going to beat you, but if you're running no tanks or one tank, you guaranteed can be beat. Guaranteed. Mm-hmm. It's not a question. It's a guarantee you will be beat. If you can run an effective 2-tank team, you have a chance in hell. But even then, with 2 tanks, you're defeatable. And the reason for that is people are using Thrawn still, so they can fracture your tank, and your tank's gone. So your tank is worthless. Also, if they have CLS and Thrawn combined, they can now buff immunity a tank and fracture the other tank, and your 2-tank combo is trash, which means the current meta to overcome it, become defensible, would actually require a 3-tank combo. The problem is running 3 tanks leaves you with 2 slots for attackers, and that's normally not enough DPS to get through everybody else's tanky teams that they're running. So that's the conundrum. But you have to have 3 tanks if you want to try and build a perfect defense team, and 3 tanks then brings no DPS, and then you're stuck there. So I don't know. It would be tough.
It's a tough proposition, however you look at it.
I got a question for Warrior on that. Have you theory crafted at all about bringing 5s in with a GK as like your 2.5 tank? Maybe.
Ooh, actually no, and that is a great idea because he does get the taunt capability.
Yeah.
So he could be there for speed down. I mean, he would just riddle the other team with speed down, and nobody cares about him, right? So nobody's going to do anything with him. But in the meantime, yeah, and so he's always last. Everybody leaves him last, but he'll be constantly taunting under GK. And so you could have GK lead him, CLS, or Han Solo, preferably actually Han Solo, just because of how fast he can clear a team out. And then have, probably Baze, because he's just one of the best light side tanks, and maybe First Order Stormtrooper, so that way you get that counter.
That's what I'm...
because I mean, the problem is it's the countering that's so strong with CLS, so taking him out of leadership is tough. But of course, with General Kenobi, you'll get that mass attack, which kind of helps a little bit. I don't know. It'd be interesting. 5s is kind of worthless in arena right now unless he's ran under General Kenobi, and I do see some people running General Kenobi. But like I said, with Barisafi, you just hit somebody with a crit, buff immunity, General Kenobi, and you just walk through them. But he's annoying because he counters. So anybody, if you could mix up a counter team, having 5s, First Order Stormtrooper, Baze, those 3 counter, that would be annoying as tanks that taunt, and they're disruptive taunts. And then having General Kenobi as one of your attackers, and then you'd have to put someone like Han, someone who just destroys another team, because you got to cut through. He's going to be the only guy to cut through. And if they can actually get to your Han, and they finally successfully do it, your team is just trash at that point after he's dead. So it'd be interesting to run and see if they could get to him, because it's going to be hard to get to him. It really could be.
Yeah. Darth Bell, are you back yet? Yay! You are back.
I'm back.
Yay! Well, we missed you. All right, my young apprentice. You have been tasked to make some quotes. Are you ready? Now, you have to do these in your dark side voice. So the first one from Graham, he wants to hear you say in your dark side voice, "You underestimate the power of the dark side."
That's true.
So they want to hear you say it, but they want to hear you say it in your, because it says you are the Lady of the Sith and my young apprentice. They want to hear you say it evilly.
I'm not sure if I can do it now.
Let's just try. It's just for fun. There's no right or wrong answer here, Bella. Just do it.
Don't underestimate. No, the sentence was "Don't underestimate the power of the dark side."
No, it's you underestimate the power of the dark side. So just be very evil and menacing and go do it.
Do it.
We wait on bated breath. Did we lose Bella again?
No, she's still here.
No, you have to say. Coffee. Yeah, you have to say you underestimate the power of the dark side in an evil voice. Did her mic cut out?
I don't know. She said "do it," and that was all I heard. Oh, and now she's fine.
Poor Bella, man. She's been having mic issues. Well, I'll work with her. The other one that they wanted her to say was, "The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural." I think that would be cool to have the Dark Lady of the Sith saying that. But she's having issues, so poor Bella. All right, so we'll go to our next question. Well, there's two questions. One's a fun question, but Finn has a question. This is for anybody that's an officer, or maybe you saw this. Finny is asking, what changes do you think should be made to territory battles to prevent officers and guild burnout with the new content? Because there was a lot of burnout and there was a lot of fallout from the burnout with some officers and stuff that, I mean, officers were running around ragged. You know? Any of you guys officers, and then if you were, I know Finity was just, poor Finn. Well, Finn, are you there?
More statistical analysis would be very, very helpful. As in the three or four stat boards that you can access in there, in leaderboards, which tells you who's done how many battles and who's put how many points in. Being able to filter that by phase would be a huge help. Just because you don't have to keep an ongoing tally of who's hit each phase, if you get what I mean. Yeah. You can just look at it once and it tells you the current phase. That would be a huge help, in just off the top of my head.
I'm here.
Yeah, your question, but I mean, give us some insight, maybe what you think might be pertinent here.
I mean, there's two in particular. One is whenever they write, like, there's 43 of 50 that have completed a particular battle, that you can see either the 43 or you can see the 7 that haven't completed it yet, rather than having to track that log that they have in each territory, which is basically going to require somebody to be on like every 30 minutes or something in order to track it. So that would be the first one. And then the second one would be if there was a way that the guild officers could lock certain platoons from people donating in it. I can't take any more of that. Don't donate into platoon 2, and all of a sudden it's like 5 of 15. We can finish it. No, we can't. We don't have the character. We do not have 7 low bots. We only have 3. Skip those platoons. And I'll donate in there anyways.
Anybody else? Officers and I mean, how for that were officers? I mean, how much time were you having to commit to the territory battles to do this? I mean, in man hours. Finn, how much were you putting into it?
Too much.
I mean, I brought it up earlier. I mean, Virus and those guys in Team Instinct, I mean, I don't know if they slept. It was madness how much stuff that they were having to keep track of and stuff like that. You know, it took a ton of coordination maybe it'll get easier as time goes on, but man, oh man, was it intense. I mean, Mike.
So
go ahead.
I think
go ahead,
once
Warrior.
they actually have it rolled out a little bit and people are kind of used to it, I think it'll ease the burden a lot for the leadership. But this is one reason why I don't do leadership. Right? I'm already a busy enough dude. I couldn't imagine the amount that they did. I mean, he was constantly messaging everybody every 5 minutes, and so he like lived and breathed TB for a couple of days. I couldn't do that. But I think it's going to roll out a little bit easier because people are going to get to know what they're supposed to do, and people will kind of know. They don't have to be told once they've played it a certain number of times, like, hey, nobody has that, nobody's putting into that particular platoon, probably shouldn't put it in myself. There'll be some logical progression, I'm hoping. And then, of course, when you're trying to dump your roster, you'll see, oh, we're only 2 million shy of the second star in the bottom one. I'm going to drop mine in there to get us to that second star. You know what I mean? But it's going to take some time for people to get like that, what we should be doing, instead of being spoon-fed what they need to be doing from their leaders. The leaders need to kind of slowly shift, like, this is what it's supposed to look like. If you see X, then do X. If you see Y, then do Y. And empower us with the knowledge that what they're looking at, so we can look at it from the eyes of them, so they don't have to. Like, teach us almost to be our own micromanager, so that way we can do it right, versus them just saying, hey, nobody put into 2, because people are like, why? And it doesn't they don't understand because they don't have the knowledge behind it. But give it some time. I think in a few months, teams will, they'll do their best, and they'll just, chalk it up to, okay, we got 38 stars, whatever. We could have got 40, but so what? I mean, at the end of the day, the rewards will probably be the same anyway. So I think that some of that's going to be let go. I think it just, the first time around, you had to micromanage a bunch of chickens running around, try and herd some chickens. That's how it probably felt.
I think there was a positive byproduct though from this, which is that with the requirements for Captain Han Solo and now all the Gear 12 salvage that's farmable, you should find that the officers aren't having to chase up 600s as much. Anyone that's a keen gamer should be going for their 7-star CHS and as much Gear 12 as possible.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
There was another positive for my guild as well, as the Discord chat just blew up. I mean,
a lot of people were really involved and invested. I agree.
I liked it because everybody's then asking about team comps for territory battles and mod. I mean, the mod chat was what really blew up for me. Is I was trying to read through. I would wake up to like 400 missed Discord messages because when I'm asleep, everybody's awake back in the States, and I just would try and scroll through as much as I could before I had to go to work.
Yeah, it was crazy. Bella, are you back yet?
Yes, I am.
You failed me for the last time. Everyone wants to hear you do the evil voice. If you don't want to do it, it's fine.
I'm sorry. I think
we need to work on that. All right, I'll give you some voice lessons, and we will work on that because you've got the force abilities already. The dark side is strong with you, but we need to work on your evil. We need to work on your evil voice, number 2. Okay.
Yes. I actually was doing it, and then you couldn't hear me. That was.
Oh well, do you want to do it?
No, not any.
No. But you have all these fans.
Yes.
All right, we'll work on it.
I think you should do it with sharks with lasers on their heads.
Freaking laser beams on their freaking heads. All right, so we'll go to our last question. This is a fun question for everybody. I will already tell you my answer because I'll go first and then we'll just go around. Grim asks, fun question, what is your perfect Sunday? I don't eat that crap anymore. You guys know that. Quit throwing questions of food at me. That being said, everyone else here is not on the stringent diet that I am. So we'll go with you, Darth Bella. What is your favorite Sunday?
Sunday. I don't drink Sundays.
No. Sunday's not a drink, sweetie. It's a
Sunday
like,
with an E.
Like an ice cream sundae.
This one, yeah, I don't eat it either.
Oh, good for you. Good. See, you're healthy. That's right. The dark side. Anybody eat Sundays? And if you do you have a perfect Sunday?
Can I
Go for it.
I'm going to do two things here. I'm going
what?
to shout out to my youngest daughter, Zoe, who was 18 on Thursday.
Oh, happy birthday to you, Zoe. Is that the one that cussed on stream?
That's the sweary daughter, yeah.
Oh, my God.
your favourite, your hero. Yeah, I know. And we went out for a meal last night. Now, technically, it wasn't a Sunday. It was a sorbet.
Oh.
But they begin with S, so I'm kicking it in.
A little bit different.
Sour cherry and amaretto and cassis sorbet.
But as you said,
oh my
it's
God!
not a Sunday. That's a sorbet, and that's different.
Yeah.
She wanted to know the Sunday.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you have a perfect Sunday, Mike?
Yes, the same as the sorbet, but
no, it's not a sorbet and a Sunday are different. What is wrong with you? What is happening? It's a simple question.
Yeah.
I didn't say what's your favorite dessert. I said, what is your perfect Sunday?
Pistachio and chocolate.
Oh, very nice. Anybody else? Mike, King, Turbo? Well, Mike already answered horribly. Turbo?
Anything with fudge or butterscotch or something like that. Something nice and sweet.
How about a little bit of both?
Yeah,
there you
bit
go.
of both.
What about you, King Felix?
I'm not a big ice cream guy. If I ever have dessert, it's like when my wife likes to make homemade cheesecakes. That's about all I do.
Oh, you lucky
I don't do ice
bastard!
cream.
Oh my God, I love cheesecake. Two vices I have, which I have to avoid at all costs: cheesecake and nanner pudding. Oh, so good.
I think you can two more than two vices, but yeah.
Yeah, those are the two things I'm like, what? Oh, I can't give in. I can't give in. Warrior, are you a Sunday guy or are you something else?
Oh yeah. So if it has ice cream in it, I'll eat it. So if I had to choose, I would just say anything that's ice cream related is a Sunday to me, and I'll eat it all the time, every day if I can.
Yeah, that's called winning. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm an ice cream fiend. I'm an ice cream fiend.
That's all
it's
right.
one of my dietary requirements, or I get cranky.
Yeah. Is that how that works? God, Warrior's being a real dick today. What's going on? Well, he didn't have his ice cream. Oh my God.
We should throw some banana fritters in there with some salted caramel.
Somebody, anybody, for the love of God, get a Sundae. We can enjoy our cushy job laying on mattresses and playing Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Okay, I think that's all the questions. Let's go around the horn, toot our stuff, toot our horns about our stuff. Mike, where can people check you out? Mikey.
Has it just gone quiet?
It's you, buddy, and I just asked you to pimp your stuff.
Oh, right.
Oh, for the
Thank
love
you.
of God.
Sorry, it all went quiet. I didn't hear you. So I have a channel, Mike Hunt, MikeHunt. I'm recording my territory battles. I'm setting a brilliant example of how not to use resistance. If you want to know that, tune in and have a butchers. And basically just preparing for the next territory battle, gear 12 in, arena in. I've now got 5 gear 12 in my arena squad, and I'm also running a non-tank Akbar lead, which I've taken first a few times with. Akbar lead, I'd forgotten just how much fun that was. So yeah, check it all out, please.
All right, thank you for being on. Warrior, where can the good folks, the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes community find you?
They can
Well, you went Mr. Roboto.
And they can also find me on YouTube.
Say that again.
Really?
You went Mr. Roboto on us.
So you can find me on Twitter at Warrior Present, or you can find me on YouTube at Warrior Presents with an S. And I present a lot of crap. I'm pretty dang busy. It's funny, last week they did the territory battles, and I wanted to stream every day. I got the first day in, but then of course it's the biggest sale of the year for me. Labor Day was, so I had to work like 16-hour days and wasn't able to stream any of it, unfortunately. But I'm looking forward to the future when I'm not as busy, being able to stream some more territory battles. And of course, I feel like Territory Battles is pretty simple, but I know there's a lot of people out there with questions and whatnot. So if you have any questions, hit me up.
Absolutely. Awesome. If you haven't checked out his video on Territory Battles, you should. It's really very helpful and insightful. Turbo, where can people check you out?
Yo. I've got a YouTube channel, Turbs. If you struggle to find it, just add SWGOH to the end, and it'll be right there at the top. I've been a bit lazy and a lot busy recently. I've not actually posted any new content for a bit, but if you keep an eye out, there will be some new stuff. But I just try and keep it light and fun. A bit of arena. I like doing fail videos, how not to raid and stuff. But
well, I think Mike's got you covered on that now.
I actually had one crash out when I was trying to record some Territory Battles, so I'm a bit reluctant to try and do some more, to be honest.
Oh, jeez.
It kicked me out, but we'll see. I post as much as I can when I can, but we'll see. It's just always good to hang out with you guys.
We appreciate you being on, buddy. And, of course, last but not least, my young apprentice, Darth Bella. Pimp your stuff.
Yes, it was great to be on the show with a few interruptions, so to say. I don't know what happened today, but I lost connection and I lost you guys a lot of times, so I have to check for next time. My stuff, I haven't done a new video because I was really busy with Territory Battles, and the videos I do are very time intense, so I needed a little bit of break also. But check out my channel, that's Darth Bella, and I still have this interview thing going on.
Yes.
The 3 interviews of Finity, Smithy D, and Grande, and it was a great interview. Great people to interview, and I will continue that. But as I said, it's not easily done. It's a lot of work in there, and I have a few other videos, like a Throne one for the guys of who don't yet have Throne. It might be interesting.
I agree. Awesome stuff. Felix, anything you want to shout out or anything? I know you don't have a channel, but anything you want to pimp or anything?
You can find me on the Reality Skewed Gamers stream whenever I get a chance to be on here.
You're always welcome, my friend. Thank you for your service, man. My army brother, it's his time. I did my 11 years. It's someone else's turn, and he's doing the good work. All right, and then of course, you're here on Reality Skewed Gamers. We stream every Wednesday and Saturday. Saturday night probably will happen tonight. Me and Loki just kind of sit back, chill, do some fun stuff, look at some teams, kind of answer some questions. There's some people that can't be on for the Jedi Academy. They like the fact that we do the stream late at night to maybe answer questions, and really we just play the game and have fun and do stupid stuff like Mad Libs. I think we'll try to do some Mad Libs tonight, maybe. I don't know. We just kind of chill for a little bit. So that's probably going to happen. I don't know yet. I have to get with Loki. Maybe he's not available. So if it's not, then we'll try to do it for another night. But that's kind of what's going on. With everything, these guys take the time to be here to answer your questions. So it would be really helpful if you support their channel, give them the thumbs up, subscribe. That really helps them out with their content. We're a community. We support everybody. Support us by giving us the thumbs up and subscribing, so you can get the latest news. Remember, we stream every Wednesday at 8 where we do all the latest news. And my God, have those streams gone on for hours now because they are just dumping stuff on us right at that time. So we really break down like all the latest news and content as it comes out, usually live. It's been happening a lot lately. For me and Finn, it's a nightmare. Loki loves it because he's like, oh, yay, we got more stuff to talk about. Me and Finn are like scrambling, trying to put agendas together. Oh, it's brutal. But it's all in fun, and we love doing it. And, of course, today, the Jedi Academy, we try to run every Saturday at 10 a.m. On behalf of myself, Mike, Darth Bella, Turbo, King Felix, and of course Warrior. Thank you all for being here. We will check you out probably tonight, but if not, it'll be next Wednesday. We do have the storm coming in, so there might be some technical difficulties with that because, you know, Finn's on the run from the hurricane. So just stay tuned. We'll try to do our best to keep content coming out, but be patient with us. So thanks everybody in the chat for being here. We really appreciate it. Thank you everybody who submitted questions. Hopefully we answered them for you. So everybody be safe. If you're in the path of the hurricane, please God, I hope you get the hell out of there. We can replace the home, but we can't replace you. So really think about that, and I hope everyone's okay. And if you have questions that we missed, put them in our Discord. We'd be more glad to take care of them for you. All right. So on behalf of myself and the crew, thank you for being here, and we will check you out next time.